Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Campfire Tales. And man, after a couple weeks of some cozy little one-on-ones, we're back with a full house here tonight. Back again 2 weeks in a row. We got Jeff. How you doing, Jeff?
Great.
Jeff, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Let me ask you this. Let's just say someone walks up to you, right? Say you're on a quest. And someone goes, hey, I know someone that might better help you. But I don't know what version of them you're going to get. They're either going to be flying around in a mortal and pestle eating children, or they could be a very beautiful lady who might want to touch your body. It's a 50-50. Are you going to go see her?
Probably.
I should have known better. After last week, you take risk.
Yeah, I mean,
you almost joined a self-cutting off your wiener cult last week, so.
Yeah, but we decided that that's not enforceable. So.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's true. That's true. Also, we have Dave. How you doing, Dave?
Good. How are you?
Hey, Dave, can I ask you a question?
Well, sure. I'm so surprised.
Yeah, I know.
It caught me off guard there.
Well, I mean, that's how I am. Let me ask you a question, Dave. Let's say, God created the earth and you were hanging out in the garden, like you were like a little furry animal friend, but you did some bad stuff. You pooped on some things you weren't supposed to. So you were given a punishment. Like yeah, you were given a punishment. They're like, hey, you're gonna go out with this lady who's also being punished, but
you mean go out like date somebody?
No, like banished from paradise into the wilderness and desert.
Just for pooping on some stuff?
For pooping on some stuff.
Eli, you're screwed.
And you don't know it was me. And you, but they're like, so for every day that she stays out there, it doesn't come and give us a heartfelt apology. She's going to birth 100 demons. You got to take care of her. How many days are you going to make it before you try to run away?
Oh, I'm going the distance. I mean,
you're going to help a lady birth 100 demons a day.
Yeah, I'm just going to be looking at the big boss man while these demons are being birthed all over the planet and say, I just pooped on some stuff.
I mean, you gotta think that after like one or two, they're just going to be falling out. So
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, like not much work involved, right?
Well, it's gotta keep things, keep things around. You know what I mean? Like to make sure
you banished me for pooping on a few things, and your punishment is I get to watch a lady shit out demons on the reg.
That's true. That's true.
I'm a spiteful bastard. Eli.
Well, you know what? And that's exactly why you got kicked out. And finally, we have Jaime. How you doing, Jaime?
That's me. Hi.
Jaime, can I ask you a question?
Do I have a choice?
No. Okay. Let's say you realize you have some powers.
Okay.
Maybe some witchy powers.
Nice. Sounds about right.
Yeah. And so they send you to witchy school.
Witchy school? Like Harry, like wizard school?
No, more like dirty hut with a bunch of people who claim to be wizard school.
Okay.
And you find this fella, fall in love.
Okay.
But your dad's like, hey, I want you to marry this fae creature instead. And you're like, nah, I want to marry this guy I found this dirty hut.
Yeah, my witchy school.
So then your dad punches you. And it's like
punches me or punishes me?
He wants to punch you. He's punching you, trying to kill you.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column
C. all these dirty wizards in this hut, your new fella, they also want to punch you because they don't want to cross a fae. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna try to convince the people in the dirty hut who claim to be wizards to like, hey, go with it? Or are you gonna go back there and be like, yeah, I'll marry this like weird fae guy?
No, I'm going with my heart. I'm marrying who I want.
But he turned against you because you won't marry the fae creature. He doesn't want to cross the fae.
Wait, my love?
Yeah.
Turned against me also?
Yeah.
Then I don't have a choice.
Everybody's mad at you about this.
But this guy so this guy won't be with me anymore.
Right.
You're saying.
But you have to marry this weird, like, child-eating wood creature.
No, I'm not being forced into marriage. This would.
I feel like I'd start dealing out crotch lightning bolts at that point. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
yeah, I forgot. I'm a witch. Yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't that come with the territory?
like that's, you know.
I feel like I would just be, and if I was in the shoes, I'd be a little upset that a bunch of weirdos who all live together in a dirty hut and practice magic is judging me. That's how I feel. I'd be a little
Well,
upset.
I mean, I'd be upset by everything that's happening here. People forcing me to marry people I don't know anything about.
Not even a person. They
Arranged
want you try to
marriages,
force
with
you to marry a
fucking
weird fake
creatures,
creature.
and now my love left me. Like, this is just depressing. Probably just going to go kill myself, to be honest.
This sounds like some Mo Kingdom nonsense. It sounds like.
Wait, what? Am I the king in this story, or am I the weirdo, dirty people in the hut?
This just sounds like
yes.
a tragedy.
All right, fair enough. It is a tragedy that spans.
This is a Shakespearean tragedy is going on.
Kind of.
It does
Not
have
quite.
a midsummer feel, doesn't it?
A little bit. Last week, you guys all talked about Season of the Witch, which some have described as something put on film.
Yeah, to get this.
I watched it. I found it felt like I watched it for a whole season, and it was super lame with the witches. So
Wait, had you seen it previously, Eli?
unfortunately, yes.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I have. I thought it was like Netflix said it was like a movie, and one day I was bored, and I was like, "Well, it's a Nicolas Cage movie about him and Ron Perlman hunting witches. What could go wrong?" And after what felt like 9 hours, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is terrible. When's it going to end?" And I realized I was only 20 minutes into it. I was one, convinced that I fell into a portal to hell, and two, I was like, why don't I just shut it off? But I'm apparently a creature of suffering. Or I'm always looking for something to complain about. One of the two.
I think we can all agree we would prefer to dig through the ditches than watch that one for sure.
Yeah.
You're just the worst. Just the worst. Anyways, so I thought I would, we talked tonight about some powerful witches throughout lore and legend that they could have put in this movie that would at least made it cooler because they would have most assuredly stomped on Nicolas Cage's ass in about 2 minutes. Do you guys know much about old, like, I don't mean like Salem witches. I mean like OG witches who many end up being considered gods.
Oh,
like
no.
Baba Yaga level witches.
We go on old school.
Nope.
You know, even though Jeff's, actually, Jeff, you'd be in the favor of the witch because you said you would just go in anyways.
Yeah,
no matter what you say.
Mm-hmm. Seems reasonable. I mean,
he had a 50-50 chance that it was a hot chick that was going to touch him. Like, come on. Like,
or someone who rode around in a mortal or
I'll roll the dice anytime.
Pestle. Wow. You know, I just feel if they ever made a movie about your younger days, actually, movie.
Yeah.
You missed it, Jamie. We found out last week that one time Jeff woken from a drunken stupor, missing a pant leg.
Yeah, it was literally just.
And to this day,
one leg of the pants.
My pants. It looked like someone or something had chewed them off. So I don't know if I got caught in a bear trap. My leg was completely fine, but my pant leg was gone.
To this day, does not know where that pant leg went.
It's gone.
Like, was there anything else laying in the vicinity of you, Jeff?
No. I was at home in my bed with one pant leg chewed off. So
fair enough.
There was also a time I woke up in the back of a car with a picture of baby Jesus strapped into a car seat, and these two Hispanic fellows were blasting Hispanic rap music.
Wait, you don't know them?
Well, they were like friends of a friend's, and we all went out from work.
Okay.
Right? And, as the night progressed, you start drinking a lot, and things just kind of, I got like flashes of what was going on. One point we were alongside the road, like throwing bottles at cars or something. And then we went to a strip club and got kicked out of there. And then, like I said, I kind of blacked out, and I remember waking up and I looked over and there was a car seat with a picture of baby Jesus, like buckled in it. Like it was like, so that it wouldn't fall out. And these two Hispanic guys were like up front blasting this rap music in Spanish. Like it wasn't like a Spanish artist. It was like straight up in Spanish, and I didn't know what was happening. So I just went with it, you know.
I
We
would have
can
been
all
like,
agree that Jeff is a real one.
Mm-hmm.
They- We're just
I-
gonna sit here and listen to stories from Jeff about what he's woken up
It
to.
was about that time I was like, maybe I should probably just stop.
Slow
Like,
down.
you know what I mean? Like, you know.
This means something.
I don't know what. I feel like at that point I've been like, could you please stop the car? And
Excuse
let
me,
out this
kind
way.
sirs.
Yes.
Because so it was like a friend. They were friends of a friend, and like he was passed out on the other side of the car seat. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like by myself.
Oh,
or
so like the
anything,
car
so-
seat was in the middle of you guys in the middle seat,
like
which
yeah.
is the worst place to strap a car seat.
Not
Well,
if there's baby
they-
Jesus in it.
I guess
What do you
that's-
mean?
They
Like, what
moved
do you-
it for
fair enough.
them. You know,
Yeah,
they needed
yeah.
to sit where they in it. They moved it probably.
Fair enough.
I don't even think they had a baby. So.
They
At
did.
least I
Did
don't
they
remember.
have-
I don't remember seeing one. So
Did they have one of those little signs on the back of the window that said Jesus on board?
No,
Jesus
I
on
didn't
board.
see one.
Wow. Once again, I would pay lots of money to see that movie.
Oh my god.
But there's some questions they should never answer. One, where did the baby Jesus come from? Two, where did your pant leg go?
Yeah, I don't know. It like literally it looked like it was chewed off. So I still can't figure out if like I got caught in a trap and had to chew my pant leg off, or if like a wolf chewed my pant leg. Like I to this day I don't know. I have no
I just
idea.
love the idea that somewhere in a small town in Pennsylvania,
There's like a pant leg
street
just
dog.
laying like
No, there's a street
yeah.
dog walking around
Yeah,
with a pant
yeah.
leg that's like, looking for you.
Mhm. They were like jeans too. It wasn't like like sweatpants or something. Like it took some effort to get that.
In my
That's
Without
mind,
harming you.
Yeah.
You
In
had
my
to not
mind-
be wearing the jeans at some point.
I want to think
Well, I
Jeff.
mean that's not outside the realm of possibilities.
In my mind, I like to think Jeff was in one of the first jigsaw traps. And then
And he
just
won.
like you're like, oh, if you whatever, take your leg off. And Jeff just in his drunken stupor, just like, all right, just lift his leg up. Pant leg came right off. He's like, I'm going home.
Okay, bye.
Jigsaw was
Jigsaw.
like, all right, okay, I didn't see that one coming.
Push.
I love the idea of Jeff in a jigsaw trap because Jigsaw would start explaining the rules to Jeff. Like, you must shoot this person in the head. Bam. Okay, what?
What else? What's next?
I feel they'd be like, I didn't expect you to do that. Jeff be like, I literally would give guns to monkeys.
Yeah. Like I mean,
I don't even care.
Let's get this moving. What's the next thing I got to do?
Mhm.
Just tell me.
This is a
Get the
man
show
who's
on the
literally on record that states when AI takes over, he's going to roll over immediately.
Instantly. I've already started prepping my supply bag for the AI takeover. So
What, has it got a bunch of charges in it?
yeah, I got chargers and some oil. That's all I got in there right
Your
now.
resume for the AI
Yeah.
overlords.
A wrench.
Just like one wrench.
Yeah. Well,
It's just a
one of-
random
It's one of
size.
those ones that you can fit on anything, the universal wrench or whatever. Like you see them ones?
Oh my God, Jeff. Watch a movie about your
To
life.
be a night.
Well, hey, let's talk about the OG witches, shall we? And once again, in true Campfire Tales fashion, I'm just gonna butcher the shit out of some names and words.
Sounds about right.
And believe it or not, people, I did graduate from high school.
Yeah. I mean, West Virginia high school. So
Listen,
Yeah, that's
first
an
off,
important differentiator there.
how dare you? Okay,
Did you ever have to guard their satellites for him?
did I ever have to what?
Oh,
Guard
Guard
their
satellites.
satellites for him?
Listen, okay. Just because when I was in grade school, we made corncob bird feeders,
You
does
sure
that
did.
not mean something we made every year? Okay.
Sometimes you had to make your what was it, the yarn and popsicle stick abacuses? I understand.
Listen,
you had a lot
Christ.
going on.
Listen, all I know is what we should have been making was defense weapons against the elusive and dangerous killdeer.
Oh God, no.
That's all I'm saying.
The dumbest meme this podcast has ever created.
Yeah.
I just can't wait for somebody to do a like Photoshop image of me fighting a killdeer, but it has to look epic. Which is why I don't want you to make it, Dave, with your AI overlord. I still think one of my favorite things I saw this week was the picture you made of Jaime fist fighting Bon Jovi.
It's pretty great, wasn't it?
I would put that framed on my wall in my house.
That was literally one of those AI moments where I typed out like the one sentence, and it was almost like the AI said, "Say fucking less."
Yeah.
And just gave it.
Especially considering Jeff and I are convinced, to Jamie's utter disappointment, Bon Jovi and Jersey Devil might be the same thing.
Well, it's also just like we were like perfect timing because the Bon Jovi documentary just fucking released on Hulu like yesterday or 2 days ago.
That was thanks to us. We triggered that.
Yeah.
And all I'm saying from the trailers, I find it suspicious that they don't mention the
That he's
Jersey Devil.
The Jersey Devil, yeah. Well,
If they don't mention it, what does that mean? They're hiding something. That's all I'm saying.
just
all I'm
perfect.
saying.
Just perfect timing on our part.
Yeah.
It's like we coordinated that, you know.
And of course, according to
spoke to John Bon Jovi. I called him up and I said, "Listen, we're going to do this episode. Can you drop your Hulu documentary?"
Yeah,
exact same time.
It's time, John.
Yeah.
And of course, according to Jamie's mom, John Bon Jovi is the Jersey Devilishly handsome guy.
Yeah, that is correct.
Listen. I'm sure your mom is a sweetheart,
And
but
Jamie's
I don't
friend
know
Nicole.
if I trust anyone who, on a regular, went into an abandoned
Oh, enough with it.
sanitarium.
She didn't never
to
said on the
bowl.
regular.
It sounded like it was regular. That's
This
all
from
I'm
a guy
saying.
who we learned went to a shed in a field that was set up as a bar to watch people piss in the corner.
One time,
You know,
Dave.
John,
I'm just saying that let's not throw rocks at our glass houses.
when did John Bon Jovi start looking like Ellen DeGeneres?
Almost immediately, as a matter
Yeah.
of fact.
I feel like as soon as he cut his hair, that's where all of his power to look relatively younger was. And then they cut his hair, and it was just like he aged 900 years.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Stephen King's Storm of the Century? And
Remember
remember
that boat?
No, that's the guy in the main town during the snowstorm. And as his hair grows, he ages 100 years. Like Bon Jovi was the opposite. As inches came off, age increased.
Are we actually talking about witches tonight? Or
Yeah, hey, let's talk about some witches. Let's talk about some witches. The first badass witch we're going to talk about, OG witch, who actually was considered the goddess of witchcraft and magics, was Hecate, from Greek Hecate, whatever, from Greek mythology. I feel like
I
it's
thought you were
pronounced
joking for a minute.
I was
feel
like,
like
I'm
it's
pretty sure I
pronounced-
know that name,
No,
but I don't know.
I think Hecate. I think it was actually pronounced Hecate. I think. I'm gonna look it up.
To Google.
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
No.
I love you defending this.
No.
Yeah, just dig your heels in.
Okay, I am.
It's a Katie.
Oh, Hecate. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I said. Hecate.
It's Hecate.
Oh, nope, it is Hecate. I just read the pronunciation wrong. Wow. Okay, whatever. All right, Hecate. Greek goddess of witchcraft and magic. She was given domain over. It's maybe the most emo thing I've ever heard of my life.
Oh, I'm excited.
She ruled over darkness,
God.
the moon, and took over the spirit realm, even though technically Hades was like, that's my jurisdiction. And she told Hades, shut the fuck up.
She's my kind of chick.
Yeah. She was so powerful that they said she could actually have power over time and space. Like what?
Those
I
are
know,
two pretty
please.
big things.
Yeah. And also because the underworld kind of feared her because for some reasons, she just took over spirits from Hades. When Persephone was allowed to go back and forth a couple times a year, she was always scared that Hades was gonna try to stop her. And Hecate, or however the fuck you say her name, was like, not today, and would literally go down there, grab her by the hand, got her out, got her back in. Also, people believed that if you invoked her or asked for her assistance, she had the full power to stop evil spirits and necromancers. So she did not.
So she was a good witch.
Yeah, basically. Well, the other
Get
weird
on a
thing.
sliding scale.
The other weird thing about her though was she was known as the person who had deep knowledge and to give you guidance of all of the poisonous and hallucinogenic plants in the wild. Why someone that's fully good knows that information?
Well, do you say a doctor's evil for knowing about cancer? Right. So,
well, yeah, but like doctors,
but she
don't
knows
stick
all
cancer
that
in your
stuff.
mouth.
Well, they cure it. It didn't say she stuck it in her mouth; said she knew about it. Right.
The second part that I was about to say is, you would call upon her, and she would tell you which ones to take.
Yeah.
To bring your consciousness closer to the spirit world, but it was at your own risk how much you took.
Yeah, she's helping people out, man.
But like doctors like take one pill a day. She's like, you look at these plants and like you take what you feel comfortable with, but whatever happens, happens.
She's a good witch. It's fine.
I feel like that's in the gray.
Nope. She's just trying to free people's mind. Is Jerry Garcia evil?
I'm going to say something that might be controversial. I hate that band, and yes, they are.
Wow.
So you're grateful they're dead? Is that what you're saying?
You're the worst. Just the absolute worst. But could you imagine if she ran across Nicolas Cage? She would have just been like, here, eat a bunch of these plants, and he would have died.
Because he would have.
A better movie than what
before he made that last movie.
Yeah, isn't that cooler, witch? That's cool. Like she OG, she got a witches.
Yeah, I like her.
And if we're gonna go with Jeff's, what I would call questionable moral compass.
Yeah.
Questionable. The flip side of her, we're gonna talk about the next one who is actually considered not what kind of a god, but not a god, but was considered the first witch. We're going to talk about Lilith, who is considered a god in some.
Isn't she a demon though?
Yeah.
Well,
she's the demon birther.
Yeah.
My knowledge of supernatural tells me she's a demon.
Technically not a demon. In some Jewish mythology, Lilith was actually the first woman created by God before Eve. But she was what they called dangerously sexual, whatever that means. And also did not particularly care for Adam, the only other person she could be around. And so she was basically banished from the garden until she could come back and apologize. And she was told that for every day she didn't come back and apologize, she would birth 100 demons. And in between birthing 100 demons, it is believed she discovered out in the wilderness, she discovered the ways of magic, became a really good, or not good, but became really powerful witch.
I mean, 100 demons is a lot, so you don't have a whole lot of time in between
per day
each one. You know what I mean? Like,
unless it's like rapid machine gun fire.
But it's like at least 4 an hour. You know what I mean? Like,
it's more than 4 an hour. Let's see. If we divide it by hours, right? Let's say 12 hours.
4 and a quarter.
You need to sleep.
If you're a demon lady, you know.
All right,
yeah, you get like you're birthing demons and you have to sleep. What kind of nonsense is that? Like,
if it's 100, how many did you say?
100. I said 24-ish.
Oh yeah,
I mean it's like 24 and
she's giving birth to 4 and a quarter babies.
Yeah,
an hour for 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say she needs some rest and she does want to sleep.
Double that.
If it was only 12 hours, it would be 8.5 babies an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Demons. So they actually believe that all the demons and monsters came from her. And then she's also a witch. But there are some cults who believe that it was an unjust punishment and they worship her. And actually, she kind of became one of the first like one of the first goddesses for like witchcraft post paganism, if that makes it not modern, but like that area between like the like paganistic gods and like modern. So yeah.
Well, what not necessarily religion and whatever, but like where does that lore come from?
Jewish
Like,
mythology.
Yeah,
Okay.
Hebrew.
Yeah.
You want to know a fun little factoid from Jewish mythology of why she was actually kicked out of the garden?
I saw many stories, but the biggest common one I saw was that she did
flashing
not
them
really
T's,
care
you know what I mean?
for Adam.
She said, "Hey, Adam,
And it said she was
check out these bad boys," and then she
very
got kicked out.
promiscuous in the garden, which I
Yeah.
find questionable if she didn't like Adam and she was promiscuous and it was just those two.
Lilith
Her great-
going wild.
Her great offense before God was that she preferred to be on top. Apparently.
Well, promiscuous.
She wanted to be on top, and God said, "That's not okay, lady."
It's a missionary. You're nothing. You're out of here.
Well, apparently,
she's also the mother of all vampires, which
Yeah.
we've argued on past episodes.
We did argue
which,
that.
if you go old lore, technically demons, ish, but some places. But at some point, God was like, "Well, she ain't gonna apologize," and so then He created Eve.
And now I got all these damn demons.
And now we got all these demons, 100 a day. It's been a millennia, 100 a day.
Yeah.
There's billions, or no, there's trillions and trillions of demons. Oh, probably more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff,
What's up?
what if you were one of those demons? Would you hang around and help your mom out? Or,
Mama Lilith?
No, I don't think so.
no,
I
like
mean,
if you're a demon, you're coming out with one pant leg.
it's time for me to fly. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you're a demon. You're not known to be a very family-oriented person.
I will point out, in all the pictures I found, she is shown with red hair. So,
Well,
just throwing out there, Jeff.
Not
Not saying you're a
supernatural.
demon. Yeah, supernatural. That was one of the lame marks they did.
Please, I get all my knowledge from Supernatural on these things. The only place I've learned who any of these people are.
I will argue though, it may not have, like, the only way I would want to see her, or if Season of Witch used her as like a villain or something, she had to machine gun shoot babies at them. Like demon babies. Like she's just like a spider, but only it's demon babies flying out of her butt. Can you imagine that movie?
That's not where babies come from. So
I was about to say the same thing. Maybe there's a
I was just saying, like, no, I'm saying, like, like a spider. You know, how a spider like turns around, like sticks out its butt and just wisps out, but only like, she would turn around, and then the stork would fly babies out of her butt and throw it, right? That's how it happens, right?
That's exactly how it happens.
The worst Dr. Seuss story ever.
Just imagine the Seuss style drawing of that picture, though. You know? Oh, man. Wait. Let's go to a controversial one, right? This is a controversial figure. Now, I mean, I guess technically, it's controversial whether or not this person was real, but I guess you can make that argument for most of the people
I was about to say that, but okay.
we're going to talk about. But are you all familiar with Morgan Le Fay?
No.
Are you familiar?
Arthur?
Yeah, are you familiar with like King Arthur?
Yeah.
Like his enemy was Morgan Le Fay.
Oh, I don't think I knew that. Okay.
So like various versions of King Arthur, but basically, in some versions, Morgan was his sister. In some versions, she was Merlin's apprentice,
Okay.
who basically turned evil and was trying to destroy Camelot. She was trying to get a hold of the sword. Well, in some versions, like the sword was her only weakness, and Merlin put in the stone, find someone worthy who could rule Camelot and defeat, or Morgana, as sometimes she's referred to as. Or some people say like she wanted the sword for power. Merlin put it in the rock. Only the worthy could get it, so on and so forth. But the real story, well, the old legend, is that in a kingdom, Morgan was the daughter of a king, and she was very beautiful, and from a young age showed a ability for magics. And so, wanting to build that up as a benefit to the kingdom, basically sent her to a dirty hut with a bunch of people who claimed that they were wizards, where she
this is my
met
story.
where she met Merlin, and she fell in love and wanted to marry Merlin because she was going to become this like kind of benign witch who was basically going to be this great healer and protector of the kingdom. And so her and Merlin, as she became Merlin's apprentice, they fell in love. They were planning on getting married when her father knocked on the door and was like, "Hey, this Fae guy who claims he's king of the Fae, monster looking thing, came to the kingdom, loves your magics, wants to marry you, promised a bunch of wealth and stuff for the kingdom. So you're going to marry him. I signed all the agreements, dotted all the I's, crossed T's. It's going to be great." And she was like, "No, I'm not going to do that," which made her father and the kingdom hate her. She's like, "I'm going to marry Merlin." But then Merlin and the old dirty hobos in the hut were like, "Nope, wrong move. We don't want to cross the Fae. So if you don't, we're going to banish you." And so she lost all her life, and then she still had to marry the king of the Fae.
You still had to marry him?
Yep, because that was her only option.
Yeah.
What's her name? Morgan the Fae?
So Morgan, her name became Morgan Le Fay because she was
Morgan
of the Fae.
Mm-hmm.
After she married the king of the Fae. And so then she was known as the most beautiful Fae, even though she really wasn't Fae, and married this guy, and it was fine. And then when the legend goes, when Christians came to the area and were stamping out the evil, they told everybody that she was an old ugly crone who ate children, so people would stop believing her, which at the time, one of the ways Faes got their power was from people believing them, and they would basically take their energy from the belief, and told everybody that she was a old crone who ate children, and some even claim she was like half fish woman, but not like a mermaid, just like this ugly fish lady thing.
And they called her Morgan Le Fay.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
She's fish from the waist up.
The worst. And so she had a very sad story, but apparently she was a powerful witch, if you believe the legend. Of all the ones on this list, people I'm talking about, some which we know are real, some which were based on religion. King Arthur and the stories around him is heavily goes back and forth, as they claim to have evidence that he did exist. Some say he was completely made up. And she's on that list of she may or may not have been real. Which I guess, once again, you could argue for most of the people I'm telling you about, but
yeah.
But she's probably the most contested of all of them.
I've never heard no half fish lady.
Well, she really wasn't.
Yeah, we had a demon a couple of weeks ago that was half fish, didn't we?
Yeah.
We did. The other thing, because a lot of times you watch shows, she's made out as this old evil witch. She's just trying to kill the kingdom. I feel bad for her because she fell in love. Then she told she had to marry this monster. Then her boyfriend was like, "Oh yeah, if you don't marry him, we're not going to ever talk to you again or help you, because we don't want to make the Fae kingdom mad." And then after that,
how do you know the guy was a monster? That's pretty assumptive of you.
Because
does it say anywhere that he was a monster?
He was described as a dark looking ugly Fae creature. She also did not want to marry him.
I mean, it's rude.
Sharp teeth. If he had sharp teeth and looked like he was made of sticks or something, I would argue that could fit the definition of a monster. Also, as we know from multiple times, the Fae don't have the best reputation of being the good guys. You might be a Fae. They're a little bit ambiguous with their morality.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. always trying to make the villains look like.
Did you say they're ambiguous?
I was just letting that one go, but
sorry, it caught me in the ear.
Listen, sometimes I say stuff, okay? I just talk. Things come out my mouth. Just roll with it. Just roll with it. But the one thing I feel bad is especially after the Christianity started saying that she was ugly, a lot of the pictures that kind of came from that time period of people painting her either made her really ugly and a crone, or they basically painted her as this like horror style of Babylon, as she wore like she was always like half naked and trying to seduce all the people around her. So I feel like she may have one of the saddest stories I've ever seen. All she wanted to do was marry her dirty hobo boyfriend who lived in the hut with a bunch of other weird dirty hobos, practicing their magics, which I feel is just code for like smoking random plants you find in the woods. And then they all turned on her.
Isn't that always the way it goes, right?
I was walking around with their wands in their hands, you know what I mean?
I feel like it reminds me back to the episode of Malice Muff Karam, how that the whole witch hunt basically started because some creepy dude couldn't get a date.
Couldn't get women.
You know what? If
love is a problem.
If Morgan Le Fay was real, I hope she was blasting dicks off with Layden the rest of her days. This the next one we're talking about, this is believed to have been a real person. Whether or not they actually had magic powers, somewhat contested, like many of things we talk about.
Yes.
But
everything we talk about.
And if and actually they kind of believe that like this name is very influential, like it shows up in a lot of witchcraft stuff, so much so that they some people, which I've never heard Stevie Nicks say this, but it also went down as she is known as a dabbler in the magics. When we talk about Rhiannon, who was later named Goddess of Fortitude. I think Rhiannon. How do you say that? I can only sing it. Rhiannon. Yeah, how do you say the name?
Stop.
I was going to say you pronounce it perfectly, but then
when I sing it, yeah.
you ruined the whole show by singing.
I never claimed to be a singer. I'm a scholar, not a singer. I'm not a scholar of words. This comes from Welsh mythology. She was believed to be this beautiful silver-haired lady who used to just ride around on a horse. She was claimed to be very she had much fortitude, as she was always going to help people, and great patience as she was dealing with old-timey nonsense, superstitions and such. So much so when she became a goddess, she became goddess of death and rebirth, because she was like a midwife. She helped a lot of people have birth. She also believed that when she was on Earth as a person witch, she had somehow came possession of 3 birds who could do magic.
Wait, and there's question if this is real or not?
Yeah. She had 3 birds who could do magic by singing. And their powers consisted of waking the dead, putting people to sleep, and creating illusions. So each bird had a power.
This is the dumbest one yet.
What? Why?
This lady and her dumb birds.
And apparently, the reason people knew the birds had magic powers was no matter how close you got to the birds, they always seemed far away. That's how they claimed you knew you were near Rhiannon.
Because the birds would fly away from you?
No, they did look like they were flying. It just
have you ever tried to get a bird outside? It's the same thing. You go near it and it gets farther away.
Unless it's a killdeer, Jeff.
Well, I mean,
and then it kills your family.
That's for sure.
Yeah, listen, they just said
vicious.
They just said, listen, that's not. We don't joke about killdeer. Tens of people a year suffer from abusive and dramatic attacks.
Emotional trauma.
You know what?
I bet you scratches.
I bet you if I had
bird.
Listen, if I had to guess, Lilith, those 100 demon babies she births every day, all killdeer. All killdeer. But So, anyways, that's how you know these birds are magic. If you get close to the bird, and the bird always appears far away.
It flies away, then
It doesn't say fly away. It says far away. Or the other thing people claim is sometimes if they look at the bird and they see it in the distance, but all of a sudden the image of the bird seems real close to them. That was another way they
flies.
do.
It flies at you.
Well, I didn't say
It
fly.
sounds like people that have glaucoma.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like
But when she was a human before she ascended to godhood,
didn't you preface this whole thing with she may be real?
So her human form, this story was the next part I'm about to tell you was real, they believe. But the other stuff is all speculation.
So her ascending to godhood is real.
Is the real part.
That's a speculation.
But having
part.
3 birds that fly away from you is the fake part.
Well, these were magic birds, Jeff.
I don't know, man. That
Listen.
seems.
So, according to legend, her parents became very angry with her when they found her a suitor. I saw one story where it was a person from another kingdom who was very cruel. She didn't want to marry them because she was in love with a local boy. The other kind of main legend, once again, speculation, is that once again her parents, a fae creature came to the house. Was like,
God,
hey,
here we go again.
I love your beautiful silver-haired daughter and her 3 magical birds.
Again?
I want to marry you and I'll give you a bunch of shit. And they were like, yeah, of course, we'll sign paper before they even talked to her. And they told her, hey, you're going to marry this person. She was like, no, I'm going to marry this mortal fella who I love, which she actually stuck to her guns and as well as her suitor. They got married and she became pregnant and birthed a son. And after her son was born, this fae person who she broke their heart came at her house and killed her baby. So she was worried that they were going to say it was her who did it. And she also didn't want to spur more anger from the fae. So she did the next best thing. And she framed all of the nurses who assisted her with the delivery for killing the baby. Apparently, she did not do a very
She was a good guy? Like,
she was scared. Maybe her magic birds can help her in this instant. Or maybe the magic birds gave her bad advice. I don't know. I don't know what magic birds speak of. But apparently, very quickly, they discovered that she was lying. And for her punishment, she was forced to wear a horse collar and carry visitors on her back to and from the king's castle.
so this is the part that might be real, you say?
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. She was forced to do that for 4 years. And apparently, she was described as doing her punishment with a quiet grace.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And then later, she was named like one of the goddesses of like various witch clans. Yeah.
After doing her time as a pack mule.
Correct. Yeah. She gave people piggyback rides to from the town to the castle.
With quiet grace.
Do you think her magic birds like flew around her when this was happening?
Yeah, why didn't they do anything? They could have helped. Like
One of them can literally put people to sleep. So why wouldn't you just put them to sleep? Be like, all right, I have a real horse and buggy. I'm just going to take them most of the way there.
I'm sorry. Of the 3 magic birds' powers, you went with put them to sleep when there's one that can wake the fucking dead.
Well, I mean, there's one that can do illusions too. So I guess it could have given the illusion
but you
that
went
she was
with
doing
put them
this.
to sleep.
I was trying to find a practical approach to this story. You know what I mean? I was just trying to find a practical approach.
Maybe I'm more malicious than you.
this is
If I've got a bird that wakes the dead, guess where I start?
Wait, what? How is talking to the dead or waking the dead going to help you? Oh, I guess you can make the dead.
Yeah,
the
a zombie apocalypse.
Oh, you're going full out and burn the fucking kingdom down.
Yeah.
Wow.
That bird's going to be busy. That's all I'm saying.
I didn't take you for the bad guy of the story, Dave.
Well, then you don't know me, my man.
That's true. Wait, Jeff, did you say this is the lamest story?
Yeah, this is the worst one.
Why? Is it the birds?
It's everything. It's dumb. Like it's just
completely threw my headphones on the floor.
Yeah. And the fact that you prefaced it by saying this one could be real.
Well, let me rephrase that.
True story.
When I meant like real, like she has the most evidence of being a real person.
You didn't say that. That's not what you said.
Well, let me rephrase it.
You said this one.
Well, I thought it was
actually be real.
I assumed you know what I meant, but she is the one with the most evidence that she existed. She was punished for framing her nurses for the death of her baby. The other stuff, we know
that Eli has a little
speculation
in him.
Yeah. The other stuff is speculation. Did she have 3 magic birds? I don't know.
They were just regular birds.
Maybe she just had 2. That's all.
Like were the birds actually magical? I don't know. I mean, how do we know Jamie's dog doesn't have magic?
We don't know.
Jamie has Sari ever exhibited magical abilities?
No, Sari right now, sorry, I got up, is fucking trembling because it's thundering here and she does not handle. Yeah, so I
or is she channeling magic?
She's having a panic attack is what she's having.
Maybe she caused the storm. Has she ever sung and like dead people woke up?
Is it her face? No.
Oh, well,
maybe Ash actually. He might be
does she ever
conjuring the dead. But like
has she ever sung and put you to sleep?
Sari?
Yeah.
No, look at this face. Look at her.
Does she create illusions?
I'm feeling drowsy.
Yeah, see? Magic dog, Jeff. What's your answer to that?
Wait, I'm sorry, not to interrupt. I have one dog that's fucking shaking beyond control, you can't tell, and the other one who is growling at the thunder.
He's the badass. He's giving the middle finger to Zeus as we speak.
This little puffball is growling at the thunder. That's
or casting an incantation. You don't know. Maybe. That's all I'm saying, Jeff. That's all I'm saying. For you to question these magic birds, or the fairy part, or her giving piggyback rides as punishment, I'm just saying, who are you to question?
Who am I? Yeah. A sane individual.
Well, this person we're going to talk about next was 100% real.
Hi.
A real person. The other stuff, we don't know.
Based on a true story.
Yeah. But the person was 100% real. And actually, in some places, considered a goddess in witchcraft, covens and such. Right here in America, New Orleans' own, fucking up her last name, Marie Laveau.
I think you did it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I think you did. Yeah, I think you did. Oh. Yeah.
See, I can speak words.
Heckity.
Shut up. Anyways, in 19th century Louisiana, Marie Laveau, she was actually, while she was living, was known as the voodoo queen of New Orleans. But her voodoo was a mix, like a lot of people found her magics was a mix of like voodoo as well as Catholic rituals. She just kind of mixed her own blends of herbs and spices and created her own kind of thing. She was actually known in the area as a great healer because she had a lot of access to and knowledge of various herbs and plants that could help heal and take care of sick people. When her husband died, which was her first husband, he died of very mysterious circumstances, which some people believe she may have killed him. Because then she took all the money she got and opened up a hair salon. She very quickly got in. Her salon was known for doing very good hair, and a lot of the high class socialites of New Orleans all came to her salon. She always seemed to know stuff about what was happening with them without anybody telling her. She claimed it was the magics. It was also found out later that she actually had a very large networks of individuals who would go around silently collecting information from her, kind of like the eunuch from Game of Thrones, like his little birds. She basically had a like network of like hobos and servants and street people who would always bring her back information for payment. Or was there magic? don't know. Go either way. She also, many people claim they saw her create illusions as one of her powers. And she also claimed that her pet snake was the African god Sombi. And she would many times was found dancing in her house and in graveyards with her snake wrapped around her for rituals.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah. And then people still so then, like I said, she became a goddess, still believes that she has the ability to change people's luck from the afterlife. It somehow got out that the way to request a wish from her is to go to her tombstone and put an X on it. After a couple years after she died, her grave was a mess because a bunch of assholes kept like breaking into the cemetery to draw X's all over her tombstone. So now they have her grave fenced off, but you can still go see it, and people do leave gifts outside the fence and such, so that she can grant their wishes, because it's now believed she's like a goddess in the afterlife. I think I prefer the version of her being like the eunuch from Game of Thrones, where she got paid in secrets. And
she's definitely the matron saint of New Orleans, though. Like,
oh yeah, for sure. Her house, like I'm pretty sure. I think you can still go tour her like salon and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know? But
pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's like probably one of America's most famous like individual witches, besides Maul Dryad and her famous rock.
Mm-hmm. You mean Maul Dyer?
Or Maul Dyer. I said Dryad like a spirit.
My favorite.
We keep talking about Faye tonight, and I got
Maul Dryer.
Maul Dryer and her famous rock, which Jaime wants to unsanctimoniously eat McDonald's on.
Eat McDonald's right on. Yep.
Maul Dryer and her famous spin cycle.
Yeah. I was going to say, you know what you need when your Mole Kingdom gets caught in the rain?
Rock.
Maul Dryer.
Oh, you're the worst.
Maul Dryer.
You're the worst. The next one we're talking about, we're going back to ancient Greece. Now, this individual, once again, she is in Greek lore. It is contested if she was real or not. Some people claim she was real because she showed up in the famous epic, The Odyssey. But so did a lot of other stuff that wasn't real. So take that with what you will. But the next powerful sorceress we're going to talk about is Circe. Said that name right, too. That's 2 for 2.
That's because you watch Game of Thrones.
And I've read a book.
Can we just decide or agree to tonight as a group for the podcast that anything that happened, say 1000 BC or earlier, that it's all real? Like let's just all talk about it like it
as
as
a blanket statement.
Yeah,
it's real.
Yeah,
I mean, can you prove
nobody can prove us otherwise? Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Which is once again why I go back, Jeff. Have you ever seen 3 magic birds?
I have, yeah.
Where have you seen? And I don't mean when you woke up next to baby Jesus' picture
on my doorstep.
I don't believe
I
it.
like it, Jeff. I like it.
I feel like, I see what you did there. I feel like, though, if you did for realsy have 3 magic birds, I feel like you would tell me about it real quick.
Not if they were lame. Like,
but her birds weren't like one could like literally wake the dead. They
so
should have necromancer bird
around for like
how you have them clean your house or something. So you don't have to.
I mean, they smell out the place. Like,
no, I mean, yeah. All right, well, I guess that wouldn't be as cool as. All right, well, yeah, okay, fair enough.
Wait, is in your question, is Jeff now Snow White? Is that what you just described?
Yeah, but like,
can they like put my underwear on or something for me? Like,
I feel like that's a weird situation if you're asking birds to put your pants on.
Like you get out of the shower and you're like, "Come on, birds, put them underpants on." You know what I mean? Like,
why would you do? Why would you risk being naked in front of some birds who have sharp beak and talons?
They're pervert birds. Like, what
could be?
What are you talking about? You're like, you're like,
could be.
With the way you said it, you're like, why would you be naked in front of her?
I mean, let's be honest, right?
More.
Yeah, like what?
What do wieners look like? Worms. What do birds eat?
Maybe
Worms.
yours. Like what? Like Jesus
more than you
Christ,
wanted to,
yeah, I
Eli.
think
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
this is Campfire Tales
listen,
After Dark. Here.
I'm just saying. Everyone, all men, fear seeing a bird naked, whether they want to admit it or not. I'm just saying.
All right.
Is that true?
No, it's
No.
absolutely not.
I'm just,
100%.
listen, there's a little movie you should watch that involves a turkey and Steve Zahn. That's all I'm saying.
Everybody likes a gobbler.
Strange Wilderness, the one where he goes look for Bigfoot, and a turkey attacks him while he's peeing. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, so Cersei, she was considered magic because she claimed to have a magic. Some legends say it's a wand, some say it's a staff,
Magic stick.
Some say it's a wiener. What?
some say it's a wiener. She also
Sometimes it's a
had
sparkler.
it was a stick that did stuff. She also was known to have a vast collection of magical herbs and potions. Her powers that she was commonly known exhibiting was turning men into animals and healing people. Which the animal one's like, what animal? If it's a cool animal, maybe. But mainly,
Any animal? She could turn into any animal?
I'm assuming, but it seemed most commonly men she disliked, she turned to pigs.
Pigs.
Whoa.
Or did you say like snakes? Okay. Pigs.
Yeah. She could do that either with her magic stick or her potions. So she turned to a pig. She was also known as someone who would use love potions to convince men to be with her and marry her. So much so that she earned the nickname the Enchanter's Nightshade, which is a plant that was actually named after her. So it's a real plant, Enchanter's Nightshade. And they named it that because in the 16th century, when people were stupid, they believed one of the properties of this plant was it could make love charms. And then they fucking invented the microscope and they're like, oh, wow, we were stupid. That's not real. Yeah, and then she became a goddess as well. And many pictures of her are all her topless, surrounded by animals.
It's like ideal to me.
None of them pigs. So, Jamie, to your point, I think she could turn them into other animals. But like she didn't like you as pigs, which probably most people didn't want to be turned to a pig.
But maybe the animals she's hanging out with are just real animals. Like maybe she also was just beloved by animals because she could turn people into animals. You know what I'm trying to say? Like she's creating more animals.
She wouldn't curse a guy and then want him hanging around.
Yeah, these are like these are like animals also liked her because she had this like kinship. She obviously has a connection with animals. This also sounds like my kind of chick because she's wear a shirt. Topless with animals. Yeah, come on.
All right, but she also like was known for like slipping people potions to like either fall in love with them or turn them into a pig. I don't think you need to use
a love
potion
when you have a shirt on.
Yeah.
Waving. I mean, like, point of fact.
Fair point.
I mean, that kind of just does it there, right? Like,
well, she relied on potions and her magic stick apparently.
I like her.
Yeah, all right, that's right.
I approve.
Wow, is this a this is the first consensus on the one that everybody likes.
Yeah,
which
Grade
I really
A certified.
She's
Seriously.
topless with animals.
Yeah,
like what?
I mean,
I feel like that'd be dangerous because like all the pictures she's surrounded by like lions and wolves and like tigers.
She's a goddess.
Her.
What does she got to
it's
worry
like, she is like.
No, I guess that's true. But you know, like cats like need like what if like she's petting and go to knead her? You know,
they're not kneading her boobs. They know they're better than that.
Yeah, they're not you, Eli. Like,
first off, how dare you? Okay, I'm respectable. That's why I
like
don't let birds see me naked. All right. Well, hey, we got two more here. This one is also we're going back to biblical times. We're gonna be talking about old Jezebel. I'm 3 for 3 right now. 3 for 3 the names.
Oh,
right.
saying the names, yeah.
Yeah,
talking about
she a witch?
Actually, yeah, she was considered a witch. She actually became one of the a villain in the Bible, and her name she was known as being sexually promiscuous and some in some stories even adulterous. So like her name has now forever been associated with like adultery, cheating.
Yeah, that's what you
partner
call
stealing.
Like, right? People use that as like an insult for women, a Jezebel. Yeah. I mean, it's the dumbest if you're like fucking 95, but like,
and from the South, like
is it? Is that what it is?
Oh, yeah, it's a Southern thing.
I've never heard it like actually.
We call them hussies down
Look
here.
at that Jezebel.
Oh, see, Jezebel is real common.
I like hussy, but like Jezebel is just like a dated. Like I feel like it's like a
Hussy's like a fuck you, but Jezebel, just the syllabic tone of it, that's like fuck you, motherfucker. Call somebody a Jezebel.
It was always weird
too. Virgin ears. Leave her. Don't say these things.
What's also weird is like in the South, someplace in the South, it's common for like, even if they're not, but like if like a lot of mothers, like when their sons, like they'll call girls they're trying to date Jezebels, which like that's kind of weird.
Trying to steal my baby boy.
I had a friend in high school who like was dating this girl, and his mother did not like that and kept saying he was dating Jezebel. And I was like, that's kind of odd for a high school girl to call.
Sounds like Water Boy's mama.
Yeah.
It ain't far off. Anyways, so Jezebel, she was the princess to the king of the Phoenicians. Oh, look at me. Ooh, saying words right. Who the Phoenicians were known for worshiping multiple gods and goddesses, including the infamous god Baal, who was a kind of murderous pagan-like god. Anyways, she was to kind of like unite the tribes. She was wedded to a king of Israel. She married King Ahab. She rejected the God of the Israelites and kept following her god Baal, which made her many enemies within the Israel nation. She also willingly persecuted the Israelites and was very blasphematic of their women. Blasphematic? Not saying that right? I don't know.
Blasphemous?
Yeah. Well, no, blasphemous. I was like, yeah, sure. And anyways, and then she also she condemned commoners to death for not giving land to King Ahab, even though he didn't really want it. She wanted the land. And then after Ahab died, the people was like, great. Their new king, Jehu, then very quickly ordered that her servants go up to her room and politely pick her up and throw her out the fucking window.
Yeet.
And then after she hit the ground, they rode their horses over her body just for good measure.
Good Lord.
And then picked up her pieces and threw them to packs of stray dogs.
These boys are bitter.
She apparently, when they told her that Ahab died, she expected this because she apparently wore her best gown and got all dolled up. I think she thought she was going to be executed. I don't think she thought like that. But it is believed that she, if you go with legend, she was believed that her seduction of men, because like I said, there's stories of her being very promiscuous, that it came from powers that she was granted by Baal, and it believes that she practiced in the seduction magics. She might have,
magician.
Yeah, a sex magician. She may have wanted to learn some not falling from a fucking window magic.
If she had some of them birds, she'd have been okay.
She'd have been fine.
You could have picked her up by her arms and flew her away. That's all I'm saying.
She could have given them the bird while the birds flew them away.
Do you think that when she hit the ground, they checked to see if she was dead, or they're just like, fuck it, let's run her over some horses?
Probably just ran her over with horses.
I feel like they had been waiting, right? Like, it's not like they're just like, oh, she hit the ground. Like, I feel like they're like, all right, listen, we're
like, hold on, let's go get my horses. They're
now,
like,
just wait 10 minutes, then go throw her out the window. But you know what? Let's talk about let's go to a more famous witch. Let's talk about Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga is a witch from the Slavic mythology. It's kind of weird. There's like basically two versions of her. Some people claim that she is this beautiful older type woman, almost grandmotherly in nature, who lived in the woods and would help heroes and people on quests and journeys by providing them food, healing them, giving them blessings and such. Then there's the other side that's like, no, she was like this old demonic looking crone who lived in the woods and practiced dark magics and loved to eat children. Some even saying she had iron teeth to eat children with. Apparently children are hard or something. I don't know. And she would also she would try to kill people going on quests and heroes. She wouldn't help them. But there's two common things between both versions of Baba Yaga, good or bad. The first is that she flew around, and I know what you're thinking, on a broom, right? No. She flew around on a mortal and pestle. There's literally old-timey pictures.
Aren't those handheld?
Well, all the pictures, they're like big. They almost look like a giant fucking butter churn, and she's flying around the woods on a fucking butter churn.
That looks like a broom, though. Maybe that's where the whole think about the visual. A butter churn, isn't it like a stick?
She didn't straddle. No, she didn't straddle the stick.
Oh,
she sat on top of the butter churn. She did carry a broom on the butter churn.
Oh, even better.
But not to ride. That's how she steered the fucking thing.
Yeah, but now I see where things are happening here.
Yeah. But there's all these pictures of her basically flying around on a fucking log with a stick sticking out, like almost she's like on a stripper pole with a fucking broom in one hand, steer.
What's wrong with this lady?
Yeah, I prefer her chicken leg shack myself.
Well, she in both versions, she also had her cottage in the woods. That if she ever decided to relocate to a different place in the forest, if the good version, they said she always had a knack of knowing the area she needed to be in to help somebody. Or if it's evil version, she was constantly running from villagers and heroes who were trying to stop her from eating children. But her cottage had chicken legs. It could literally stand up with big chicken legs and just walk to wherever she wanted it to go.
The first mobile home.
Yeah. So either she was this very nice witchy lady who helped people and was there to help, or she was basically this demonic lady who couldn't speak words, but always, when she opened her mouth, you would hear the blood-curdling shrieks and howling of spirits. And she would be covered in blood as she was constantly eating children, flying around on her fucking mortar and pestle with a broom to steer it, and her chicken lighthouse.
She got a lot going on.
Yeah. There's even some stories that she could infest the nightmares of children.
Oh.
Which would then cause them to run off into the woods to find her to be fucking eaten. Maybe cool.
Who was it that originally killed her dog to set her on this path, though? That's my question.
It's probably a kid. You know what? Hold on a second.
Is.
What if there's a connection, right? What if there's a silver-haired girl who rode around on a horse with some fucking birds, stomped on her dog, or her birds put her dog to sleep in a river or something? I don't know.
And then they got Baba Yaga.
I would argue all these witches would be better in Season of the Witch than what that whole movie was.
Well, of course. Anything would be.
Yeah.
You mean Season of the Witch, not really a witch?
Yeah, right, precisely. Even the one with birds, Jeff, I think you could agree with that, right?
Yeah.
Your whole hatred of birds is hilarious. We now know the origin story, but you coming down hard on all the birds in these stories.
I would just like to point out one thing, right? Just follow me in this train of thought. What were birds at one point in time?
Dinosaurs.
What happened in Jurassic Park?
Dinosaurs got loose
and ate people. What if birds was things don't work out as dinosaurs? Phase 2, we make them think we're these cute, cuddly flying things. Really, peck your eyes out and eat your wiener.
I mean, it's in the news every day. I mean, we should have learned by now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
You hear about a lot of bird attacks.
Have you ever looked a bird in the eye? Have you ever looked a bird in the eye?
No.
Pure evil. Pure
evil. Oh my God.
Yeah. Just saying.
I mean, birds' eyes are on the side of their heads. How do you look a bird in the eye, Eli? That's
because they side eye you. You know what I mean? They turn and they side eye you.
Don't you got crow tattoos on you?
Well, crows are different.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they're cool birds.
They're not.
Oh my God.
They are so smart and cool. Crows get past. Yeah. And find me one lore legend where crows are
the
bad.
Raven.
That's different.
No.
That's different. Listen, Edgar Allan Poe, as much as I love his works, the man had a drinking and gambling problem and was very depressed.
And hated birds as much as Eli did.
No, he did it. He never said he hated the bird. He just wished the bird would leave him alone.
What about Alfred Hitchcock, The Birds?
Alfred Hitchcock used to tell children their mothers died at the studio so they would cry real tears during scenes. Love his movies, but once again, can you trust anything he says? That's all I'm saying. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. But if it's a dinosaur bird, I don't know.
Which crows are not?
No, they're a different bird.
I have some bad news for you.
You know, all I'm saying is Odin had birds, right? Noah
had killdeer. Pretty sure.
No, he did not. He had ravens.
Odin had a horde of killdeer to go do his
there's only two birds I trust, and that's because in most legends they're okay, and that's crows and doves. The only birds I trust. That's all I'm saying.
What about peacocks?
I don't trust anything with tails that long.
But they're so pretty.
They want you to think that, so when you get close, they can wrap their big, long, whippy feathers around your neck.
I can't. No.
The logic.
I mean, have you ever seen them do that?
No, because they can't.
So how do you know they can't?
Because they can't.
How
do you know I know they can, because they can't.
They basically got big whips on their butt. Okay, I don't trust anything with a whip on its butt.
Oh my God.
Jeff, back me up here. You're normally got this kind of logic. Back me up here.
I can't help you with this one.
Jeff, have you ever seen a bird you trusted?
I don't even think about them.
Yeah.
Big bird,
to be honest with you.
Oh, don't trust big bird.
I used to have when I was young, we had finches in a cage. They were all right. I mean, nobody ever died. So
did you ever let them out of the cage?
A couple of them escaped. Yeah. I was cleaning their cage.
You know where they probably went? Some kind of demonic satanic ritual at night.
No, we found them. They died outside.
Oh.
It was like
story.
Well, they're basically raised in a cage. So
exactly.
Like,
what the hell do we do now?
Way to bring down the mood. Or did they sacrifice their souls for demonic reasons?
Yeah, I'm sure that's what they did.
I'm just saying, find me one good experience someone's had with a bird, and I'll find you a liar. That's all I'm saying.
Wow.
That's all I'm saying.
Unless it's a crow or a dove. You got to put your
right. Those are different. I just find it interesting, right? We talked about a demon that had a bird hand. Mm-hmm. We talked, this Rhiannon's got 3 magic birds that she's like, oh, I'm good, but yeah, I can wake the dead and put people to sleep and convince them of illusions.
But hop on my back, I'll take you to the castle.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just saying, I mean, can you really trust a bird? That's all I'm saying. I want you to think about that. Can you really trust a bird?
Yes. I got a couple birds for you.
Hey, so which was your guys' favorite? I know Jeff. He really liked Rhiannon.
Wait, is she topless with the animals?
No, that's
my favorite.
No, that's
witch.
Cersei. That's my favorite. Yeah.
Topless witches got to be.
Not even Baba Yaga.
Topless with the animals.
Yep.
Wow, did not see that coming.
And then the emo chick behind it.
Oh, you talking about Kate? Kate?
Yeah.
Wait, how do you say that again, Dave?
Hecate.
I thought it was a Katie.
Okay, we'll go with that. I'll back your play.
Well, no,
Katie it is.
Google agreed with you, but I would also argue, what is Google controlled by? AI.
Birds. Oh, wait.
Well, that'd be crazy. I mean, can you really trust AI? I mean, if you're Jeff, you're going to roll over and do whatever AI says. But some of us who will be fighting the good fight, can you trust anything the computer tells you? That's all.
It's inevitable, Eli. It's inevitable.
You're gonna
Jeff's
be like
a Borg.
he's gonna be like one of the doomsayer prophets that like they send ahead, like Silver Surfer, but he's like covered in like keyboards and shit. He's like, just submit to it now. It'd be so much easier. They feed us nutrient crackers.
I don't know, but when it happens, I'm probably just going to be topless in a field with animals.
There you go.
You're going to find me.
You know what?
Everybody's going to be like, oh my God, we're being murdered with machines. Why is that chick got no clothes on? Why are those animals there?
And Jamie will just flip them off.
all I'm going to say, though, is, Jamie, as I don't know if that's the best strategy, if you do find 3 birds that start talking to you, one's like, I can wake the fucking dead. You know what? Let's partner up. Let's partner up. That's all. I'll. You know what? Sure, I'll stay in the field topless too. Then, if you got the magic birds,
I probably would. I mean,
and all I'll say to both of you is, at that point, sunblock's going to be your friend. Okay, just stock up now.
Sun's out, boobs out. That's what I say.
Exactly.
Is that your new motto in life?
I do say that sometimes, to be honest.
But my bird thing's the weird one.
Like boobs.
I didn't say I didn't. I'm just saying, of all the things, all I'm saying is that all the things we've learned about each other, my bird thing's the weird one.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, still, yes, I think that's weirder than me wanting to stand topless with animals. Yeah, I do.
All I'm saying, when the birds start,
the birds will be with me. Just saying.
Well, like I said, if they're magic birds, I'll be a bird lover too. Because then we can fight AI with zombies.
Birds aren't real.
Well, I mean, they do say that too as well. They do say that. They do say that too as well. One of the most recent arguments is that birds are actually interdimensional. Like they're not even from this dimension. Because they're like, you'll see them flying, then all of a sudden they won't be there.
No, they are there. They just flew away. Like, I don't understand that statement.
They're far away.
These are the same type of assholes who would believe when like Rhiannon's like riding up. She's like, I got magic birds. Like, if you look at it, they always seem far away and really close at the same time. They're like, oh my God, you're right. Oh, hey, Dave. You want to tell a fun fact about the Wicked Wild?
Why, sure. So thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Next week, we'll have another movie review for you. If you want to get notifications about the new episodes that come out, we do ask you to subscribe on whatever podcast platform you listen on. Give us a review and a comment. We'd love to get those. We're trying to get as much information from our listeners as possible, kind of engage with you on that stuff. So 5-star reviews will be met with a crisp high five. That's my guarantee to you. So, and then if you want to learn more about us, the hosts, and see some of our book reviews and other nonsense that we put together, you can go to our website, thewickedwild.com. If you want to follow us on social media, you can go on Instagram at wickedwildpod or X at wickedwildweare or Slasher, which is the horror only community, at wickedwildweare there as well.
Nice. Anybody else have any final thoughts? All right, cool. Well, everybody, thanks for listening. And just remember, always keep one eye to the sky for a bird. Or if you see a man walking your town carrying a child safety harness with a picture of baby Jesus, and he's missing a pant leg, and he's talking about the benefits of AI, just shut your door. He's probably going to also have an army of chimpanzees with guns.
Yep.
Don't trust Jeff. Bye.